And I want to say hello. This is Kathleen Gage, and I'm really excited that you're here. This is actually part of a commitment that I'm making over the next 358 days because it's a year-long commitment. Monday through Friday, I'm going to go live somewhere on social media. Now, why is this important? It's important because I'm making a commitment. And the thing about resolutions is oftentimes people will resolve to do something, and then within a few days, they give up. And so part of my commitment is no matter what, I go live. And so this is all part of that commitment. And in looking at that, I'm actually looking on my phone to make sure that we are actually live. And in that, I want to say, first of all, 3 things to make sure that you have a more productive year in 2022. One of the things that I know is that in 2022, I'm going to get really good at lives. I remember when I first started doing podcast interviews, I didn't know quite what to do, but the longer I did it, the better I became, the more I did. It's just like when I first became a speaker. There's public speaker and there's professional speaker. The difference between a public speaker and a professional speaker is a professional speaker gets paid. Really quite simple. But the thing that I learned early on, I had a mentor who said, the more you speak, the more you speak. And I was like, what does that even mean? The more you speak, the more you speak. It means you get out there, you do it, people see you, you get really good at what you're doing, you fine tune things, you learn what stories work, you learn what strategies work. And the more you do it, the easier it becomes and the better you get. So 3 strategies for having a more productive and a more successful 2022, because let's admit it, I think all of us are ready for a really productive and successful 2022. 2020 and 2021 were hard years for a lot of people. And yet in many ways, I think people made it harder than it needed to be, because I've often heard people say, I'm done with this. I don't want to do it anymore. And I think about when my mother was in Europe during World War II. She was in occupied Belgium and they had no choice. They had to wait till it was over, and they could wish it away all they wanted to, but it wasn't going away. And so it's taking the circumstances that we have and making the best out of those circumstances. So 3 things to make yourself more productive and more successful in 2022. One is set goals. Be very specific about your goals, be realistic about your goals, but stretch yourself in your goals. I think the challenge that a lot of people have is they don't set strong enough goals. They don't push themselves. They stay within a comfort zone. And it's like in anything, whether it be your health, whether it be your finances, your relationship, your business, your job, if you work for somebody, it's about stretching yourself and going beyond where you're at so that you can actually achieve more, if that's what you want to do. Also, set your goals based on who you are and what you want, not what you think other people want. Another one is avoid buying stuff without implementing the stuff you already bought. That's a really important one. I actually had a temptation yesterday. I was listening to somebody on a Clubhouse, somebody that I follow, and this guy is a rock star. He's got great information. I've already bought some of his stuff, and I've been listening and implementing and getting some results. And one of the things is make a commitment and do something every single day. And that's part of this commitment. So I'm already seeing results from that. But he had a program, it was $1,000, and I was ready to buy it because it was like a really, really hot topic and one that I know that I can use. And yet I thought, wait a minute, I've bought a few different programs over the last few months that I've been working on those programs. And what I need to do is dig deep into each of those programs, implement the information, and then when I'm done with that, move on to the next thing, unless it's something that's so urgent that I need to learn it right here, right now. With his program, I don't. It'll be there in a month. It'll be there in 2 months. And I'm not worried about that. It was kind of that FOMO, fear of missing out, FOMO. Fear of missing out. And so I actually sat there and I thought about, okay, why do I need to get this program? Is it a life or death situation? No, it's not. Will I be able to jump into it right away without getting distracted from other things or without distracting myself from other things? No, I won't. So I made a decision not to get the program right now because I've got a program by my good friend and colleague, Katrina Fox. I invested in her program. Another one by my good friend and my colleague, Mara Glazer. I invested in her program. I've got some stuff by Rob Moore. I've got some stuff by John Lee. I've got some stuff by let's see, trying to think who else. I've got like 5 different people that right now I'm immersing myself in their information. So when I go through all their programs, then that's kind of the reward for getting another program, because I love to learn. That's one thing I absolutely love to learn. But one thing that is different about me than a lot of other people, and I see it from the side of a content creator, is I actually do go through the information, I do apply the information, and I do get results. So I think that's the distinction for a lot of people, is they buy programs and they think they're going to get the success of the program through osmosis. It doesn't work that way. The third thing is consistency. And that really ties into what I learned from the person that I was going to buy their $1,000 program. Is this person said, be consistent every single day, set your goal, and every single day, no matter what, you show up, you do the thing, whatever the thing is. Now, it might be that you're going to get really good on TikTok. You're going to put a video a day up on TikTok. That might be your thing. You want to make sure that whatever you're investing your time in is a good use of your time, because if you're investing time, money, and energy into something to grow your business, but your market isn't on that social platform, it's doing you no good. So the first thing that you need to do in being consistent is decide, okay, why do I want to be consistent? If it's around your health, well, that's pretty obvious. If you want to be consistent around your health so that you can be here for longer, you can have more energy, you can enjoy things more, that's pretty self-explanatory, which means you have to show up every day, which means you have to exercise every day, which means you have to eat healthy every day. You don't really have to. And yet, if you want the result, you need to. It's really that simple. So it's the same thing with business, with people that are doing marketing in their business. Before you start throwing a whole bunch of mud at the wall and hoping something will stick, the first thing you need to do is clearly define who is your market. We've learned this from the beginning of when I got in marketing nearly 40 years ago. It's like marketing 101. Who's the avatar? Who's the ideal client? Who's the person that you want to do business with and they want to do business with you? And it's not just a matter of saying, oh, I need to be on Facebook or need to be on Twitter or I need to be on Clubhouse. It's like, is my market there? And for me, I work a lot within the vegan industry and the self-help industry. And so for me, if I go onto a platform where that particular market doesn't spend a lot of time, I might be consistent. I might be giving great content. I might be really crushing it. But if my market's not there, I'm wasting my time. So I encourage you to set clear goals. Avoid buying program after program after program. Even if it's a $5 program, that's not even the issue. The amount of money is not the issue. It's the amount of effort you put into that program. And are you applying the information? That's a big one right there. And then the third thing is be consistent. So for me, my commitment is every day, Monday through Friday, I'm going to show up somewhere on social media, and I'm kind of getting a feel for things. This is kind of my A/B testing, if you will. It's like I'm showing up on TikTok, I'm showing up on Instagram, I'm showing up on Clubhouse, I'm showing up on Twitter, I'm showing up on LinkedIn, I'm showing up on Facebook. Not all at once, but I can take one piece of content like this content right here, what I'm creating right now. I can take this, I can upload it to YouTube, which I'm going to. So I've got a YouTube video. I can take that link to YouTube. I can put it on Twitter. I can put it on LinkedIn. I can put it on Instagram. I can do pretty much anything I want to with it. I can send it out to my list. And so I get to see where I get the greatest traction from this kind of information. This is Kathleen Gage with Vegan Visibility. And if you're looking to get more visibility in the coming year, I encourage you to consider going on podcast shows. If you're not quite sure how to get on podcast shows, what I encourage you to do is go ahead and get my free report. It's about how to become an influencer with podcast interviews. I just got through interviewing somebody who went through my full podcast Rockstar program, and she said she got, I think it was 95 interviews since she's been in my course, and it's been about a year. 95 interviews. That's a lot. Can you imagine the amount of reach? And I said, what's been the greatest benefit? She goes, more visibility. I get invited onto other interviews, and my revenues have definitely gone up, and I have greater influence. So if you're looking to have more influence, get my free report, and it's about how to have more influence and really reach more of your market. All you need to do is go to powerupforprofits.com/checklist. That's powerupforprofits.com/checklist. It's absolutely free. It's step-by-step what you need to do to get more podcast opportunities, or even that first podcast opportunity. This is Kathleen Gage, wishing you a great day. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the month, and make 2022 the year that you have a big breakthrough and breakout.